Dealing with burnout is a real thing, especially when you're working two jobs. You're working a lot of hours and you don't have a lot of time to rest. So how do you deal with burnout when you're building your wealth, trying to like increase your portfolios, increase your savings, right? Like become financially literate, become financially free. How do you deal with feeling tired, feeling inflamed, feeling even like you're missing out? How do you deal with all this? Because guys, like, whether you realize it or not, when you start to work a lot, when you start to pursue your goals, when you start to see progress, the actions that you're taking are sometimes gonna make your body feel fatigue, right? Like you're working, you're on your feet for a long period of time, and your body is telling you like, hey, I'm tired. Like, you know, your brain's like kind of fried. Like maybe you have some brain fog, maybe you haven't got a lot of rest. So the feelings you have of fatigue, the feeling you have of brain fog, the feeling you have of like just not being there mentally, right, is something that's very difficult to deal with. And this is why a lot of people, maybe they start working two jobs and they're motivated to start pursuing wealth, start building the life they want, but they give up. They often, maybe they'll start working and they'll work a second job for a month or two or three, and then they'll quit and then they'll stop, right? Because the thing is that, again, this is a reality, right? You're gonna be tired. You're gonna feel fatigued. You're gonna feel like at times like life is just you're like an automaton robot. You're just going at it every day. You're doing the same shit every single day, and it gets boring, it gets tiring. And that's the truth, guys. I don't want to sit here and tell you that this is gonna be a fun process. Now, the process of you seeing results, the process of you seeing progress in your financial accounts, in your financial statements, in your portfolio, that is what is going to give you the juice to keep going, right? And now obviously you're going to experience the burnout, right? But the thing is this, right? I'll tell you like this, I can experience burnout, no problem, right? And I can continue to experience it day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Why is that? I can experience that and I can deal with that because I know that there's an end to this road. I know that this road is leading me somewhere, and then when I get to that destination, from that point forward, I'm not going to have to deal with the same kind of situation I'm talking to you guys about right now, right? So the thing that's going to help you push through, the thing that's going to help you stay consistent and stay just on the path on the path to wealth and building the life you want, is going to be the destination and what you're doing it for. You always have to remember, like, whenever you feel like quitting, or whenever you're tired, whenever you feel like giving up, or you just don't want to do it anymore, you always have to ask yourself, why did you start, right? Me personally, like, why did I start working two jobs? Why did I start, really locking in and pushing hard for the financial goals that I want? Because I just want a better life. I want to be free, right? Like, a lot of my motivation, I'll be honest, comes from things I don't want to deal with, right? Now, as much as we like to talk about the positive reasons for why we do things, right? Like, why would you want to make more money? Why would you want passive income? Well, you want more freedom. You want to relax. You want to spend more time doing things you want to do, right? Maybe you want more money so you have better choices in the dating market, right? Like, whatever your reasons are, whatever positive reasons are, they're great. But oftentimes, you know what drives us more? What drives our action more than positive reasons is negative reasons, right? So me personally, like, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate, but the reasons that I have are more negative than positive. I don't want to deal with a shitty boss. I don't want to deal with work politics. I don't want to deal with people showing up late, people calling out, people blaming me for things, right? I don't want to deal with paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, going to a job where you get paid, and most jobs are like this, you get paid just enough to come back the next week so that you survive, right? I want, and I think all of us, we can all agree, we want to be out of survival mode. We don't want to be sitting there week to week, month to month, year to year. Our life is passing by us just surviving, right? We want to experience more. We want to be immersed in everything that life has to offer, right? Whether that's spiritual, whether that's in your relationships, whether that's you just exploring and traveling and seeing new things, or learning new things, right? Like, there's so much more than just survival and a paycheck to paycheck lifestyle. And sadly, that's where most of the population is, right? 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So that reality is how 70% of people are living right now. That is sad. That's not a life, right? That is not a life. That is a death sentence, right? Living paycheck to paycheck, just surviving, just trying to make ends meet every week. That's a death sentence, right? That's a death sentence to your soul. That's a death sentence to your mind, your body, right? So you have to remember all the negative reasons, right? Another thing too, poor people typically have more health problems than rich people. Now, obviously, rich people do have health problems, but a lot of people who are poor, let's face it, they're stressed, they're frustrated, right? Guys, like, not being able to make it financially, or just being able to make it barely financially on a monthly basis, do you know how much psychological stress that puts on you? I've been in that position. I've been in positions where I don't have a lot of money at the end of the month, or my account went negative, right? I don't want to live like that every month. Now, obviously, there might be times in life where that happens, or you make a mistake, or your investment that you wanted to see grow didn't come to fruition. But that's not the point. The point is that you have to realize that, like, that lifestyle is psychologically damaging and stressful. And you know what? Stress kills you. Stress is an absolute killer. It ruins your organs. It ruins your nervous system. It ruins your mind. It kills you slowly, right? And, you know, that's why when people are stressed, and that's typically most of the population, we don't deal with stress in a positive way. You know, I talk a lot about positive ways to deal with stress and lower your cortisol, but the average person who has stress, who deals with especially financial stress, you see them drinking, you see them smoking, you see them coping with the cortisol in non-productive ways, in ways that are damaging. And, you know, as far as like alcohol and cigarettes go, right, like, these are not good ways to deal with stress, right? Because not only are they unhealthy, right? Not only do they take from you, not only do they take energy from you, but they take your finances from you as well. So not only are you losing energy in general, but you're losing financial energy as well. So it's a lose-lose battle, right? And like I said, the cost of you not pursuing excellence, the cost of you not going after your goals, the cost of you not at least getting on the right path and seeing like little progress week to week, month to month, year to year, that is going to absolutely destroy any morale you have for life, any zest you have for life. And again, like, burnout is going to be there. You know, times where you're tired are going to be there. But I think the best thing you can do is just remember why you started. And, you know, I made a video the other day talking about, you know, money not being everything, and trying to use like money as a way to fill an empty void. But as far as like dealing with burnout, as far as like resetting yourself, I think it's good for everyone to at least take one day a month, one day every 2 weeks, to spend time in nature, to spend time by the beach, spend time without your phone, just you know, being with yourself, being with God, right? Like, it's okay to relax. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to just put life on pause for a day, right? As long as you're going at it every single day, you know, pretty much, you know, 100% every day, as long as you can see your progress week to week, and you know that you've built up the consistency and you've built up the habit of working, then I don't think there's any problem with you taking a day, right? Whether it's on a 2-week basis, whether it's on a 1-month basis, to reset, to be in nature, to be with the elements, to be with God, right? Because unfortunately, like, you know, we're humans, right? So we can't just continue to operate mechanistically for a long period of time without a break, right? There will be a breakdown. I remember actually a couple years ago, when I was working in a restaurant, there came to a point, because I was working like 7 months straight, and there came to a point where one day I was at my main job, right? And I just threw in the towel, right? I just threw in the towel, meaning like I didn't do shit that day. I was so burnt out. I think I had worked like 3 doubles or something before that day. And I just threw in the towel, right? And like, there was something I was supposed to do that day, and I didn't finish it, and I didn't complete it. And my boss, right? And I talk about this sometimes, but my boss came in, or my boss's boss came in that day, and pulled me out back and told me that I was going to be stepped down, right? I was going to be stepped down because, you know, I didn't complete what needed to be done, and I don't know, they weren't having it with me. But I honestly attribute a lot of that, like, tiredness and feeling of fatigue to me not just taking a break, right? So don't sit here and shy away from the fatigue, the inflammation, the tiredness. It's going to happen. But just remember that it's okay to reset, because when you reset, you're able to go forward at a faster rate. You know the saying, you got to slow down and speed up, right? So don't feel like you taking a break once in a while is like you missing out on your goals, or you're being lazy, right? It's not. It's just sometimes, guys, when you're doing this shit, your brain takes it takes a toll, your body takes a toll, and again, you need to come back to yourself, come back to your core, reset, and move forward from there. So anyways, guys, that's it. That's all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. If you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down below. And as always, I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.